At 6 o'clock, I'd like to bring the meeting to order. Tonight's agenda is pretty short, but there's quite a few updates. I would like to start with everybody standing, facing the flag. Robert, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, sir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody will remain standing. John, would you lead us in a prayer, please?
Dear Lord, be with all of us tonight and be with our community. And there are some things happening out there that are quite detrimental. Be with those families of lost ones and injured ones. And in Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. Okay. Roll call, please.
Gravel.
Here.
Sittenbach.
Here.
Capps. Here. Riggs.
Here.
Campbell.
Yo. Funny people. Okay, starting the meeting out, we have, Mindy has some stuff lined up for us this evening. But one of the things that we need to do this evening is that we have a new employee, Paige Mueller. And we also have a new employee, which is Lisa Beecraft, which when they hit the floor, they both were sworn in. Okay, that's just how city business is. But we're here tonight to formally swear them in and welcome them to the family, and let the entire county know that we've ended up with two of the best employees out there to get. So with that being said, if you two ladies will step forward and let Mindy do her job, we'll step out of the picture.
You two?
At the same time.
At the same time.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So raise your right hand. I, state your name,
I, Lisa Beecraft,
I, Paige Mueller,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
do solemnly
You both
swear
can say it.
do solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of Kansas.
and the
and the
Constitution
Constitution of the
of
State of Kansas,
And faithfully discharge the duties of administrative assistant, coach, clerk.
the
and faithfully
Discharge the duties of,
administrative assistant,
so help me God.
so
so help me
God.
God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good job, ladies. Thank you. Communities and cities are blessed when we can actually operate and we have the employees of people that live in our community. Okay, often employees don't work for cities or counties. They come from outside to do their service. So this is real work, real people investing in real cities, and we can't thank you guys enough for coming to be part of our family. Okay. To move on. Mindy has insurance for us to,
Minutes.
Minutes.
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, thanks, Robert.
Can I change my vote on that?
Have you addressed legal counsel?
Yeah, he said I should do that.
Then I would like to request that on the agenda.
Okay. I would like to make a motion to approve the March 10th meeting minutes with one caveat. I would like to change my vote from abstain to yay on the bid for the water project. I was informed that I did not need to abstain on that, so I'm going to go ahead and vote yes, along with the rest of the council.
Okay, I verified with legal counsel that Robert reached out, had the discussion with Jamie, and that there is not a conflict of interest based on his relationship or friendship. Not a relationship, a friendship with someone who works with the Heritage firm. So, with that being in place, it's important that, Robert be able to set up the table for the sake of decisions for today and possibly in the future. So, again, I inform the council that what he's saying is 100% accurate.
I second that.
Any questions? Everybody because you're changing this, everybody understands and is in agreement, correct, with the change? Okay, moving on.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Sorry, guys.
Motion to approve the March 13th special meeting minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Any conversation? All in favor?
Aye.
I wasn't there.
Pardon?
He wasn't there, so he didn't.
He wasn't there? Okay. It's still 5-0, but thank you. Next thing we have is Blue Cross Blue Shield Health Insurance. Okay, we reached out to KMET, we didn't qualify again this year, okay? Maybe with the additional employees, that it may change our opportunities with KMET in the future. But with that, what we have is the employees' health care insurance with Blue Cross and Blue Shield has come renewable. So we will need to remove it off the agenda by approving it for Mindy or not approving it. So with that, Mindy, I'd like you to go ahead and present to us the Blue Cross Blue Shield Health Insurance and just explain to us where we're at with that.
In 2024, it was 105,000. The budget, the budget is wrong. The initial budget that we had was 125. Apparently got moved down to 100, so that is incorrect. The new rate is 124,621.08 a year. That will go down a little bit because we're losing Jenny, gaining Paige, but I don't know.
Actually, I don't know that this year would have been, and we've done this a few years ago, if the council remembers, we went out and got bids and came back to find out that the insurance we currently have, other than changing a few of the options, you know, what was as good as we were gonna get. So this probably wouldn't have been the best year for us to reach out to insurance commissions and try to find better rates based on, you know, a change of governmentship. So, you know what, I'd asked Mindy to go ahead and just present to us what our raise is, what the difference is gonna be this year, and remind everybody that we're not much under budget, but we're a little bit under budget here, so. And I think next year, this is something that has to start in January for Mindy to start reaching out and trying to get bids for us and alternative prices. So, you know, if it's something we want to do next year, we need to make sure we let her know about it early on. Okay, so that we can take an opportunity, and maybe next year will be a better year for searching insurance rates.
How early can you actually start for the next fiscal year?
I would say January would be the best. I mean, I could start trying in December.
That's why I was wondering
Yeah.
is if it would be better to start at the end of the year, that way by the first of the year we
Yeah.
have a number?
I know some of the, well, like the college that I work for, they started in September.
Did they? I mean, it might be that early
Yeah.
to start looking around them.
I know most of them you can't change until December, so.
I know you haven't done it yet, but the last time this was done, some of the insurance companies, like, none of their stuff kicked in for like 2 years.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful of that. That was the only ones that were lower.
Of course, I'll try for K-Med again,
Yeah,
so I'll apply with them every year until they tell me to stop, or they accept us,
there you go.
so.
What do we need for this?
Well, she needs, Mindy will need a motion to accept the current agreement with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas for the set amount right here of 124.
124, 621.
Yep.
So the mayor and city clerk?
Mayor
enter
and
into-
city clerk enter into it.
Motion to, I move to allow the mayor and city clerk to enter into a contract with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Kansas for the new amount of $124,621.08.
I'll second.
Any conversation? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you, council. Okay, let's move to the next insurance policy is Truly Insurance. This is our general insurance.
Angel's here.
Oh.
Angel and Christine, there's been a change.
Well, I
Do you wanna come up?
recognized her.
And
Yeah.
I know
Somebody
you said
who
something about the
yeah.
water plant, so.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I am Angel Rice. I've lived here for 30 years, actually, so I'm probably one of the oldest residents. But I've been with Christine for 15 years, and I'm kind of the one who handles all the city stuff. Christine has been doing this for how many years?
25.
Yeah.
Lucky me.
So, there has been a change on the property that the POA pays for. So you guys had a risk management come down and they did like an analysis, like a cost analysis on it, and it was insured for like $692,000, and they've raised it to $1,697,374.
This is the water plant.
Yes, and the reason being is because all of the stuff inside that building has never been covered. It's always just been the building. So if we would have needed to replace it, then like the tank and the feeds and all of the different things that go along with that, you guys didn't really have insurance on that stuff. So that is why that part on your invoice that you have there, that is why the commercial property with the little star beside it, that is why it is more this year than it was last year. But the total increase altogether with all of it was only 3.6%.
Which is lower than what we're seeing on most of our other renewals. So I would say that EMC, the company that insures you, they also have a dividend program, which you always get a dividend on. So I think what that tells us is that it's been a book of business, their municipalities, that they feel like they have it priced about right, and it's profitable for them. So they're trying to do minimal increases, which poor George here is experiencing different increases on the school side because it's just not a profitable book of business for them. But anyways, this has been great. They're happy with you. They want to keep things, and honestly, we're excited because with the POA relationship and the city relationship and the sharing of some of the property and the autos, you know, and your operating agreement and all those things, we've worked through all that with EMC and they're in agreement to that. And so we just feel like it's a benefit to you to be with a company that understands that agreement and is okay with it. Because we've looked at other companies as an alternative, but when we explain the situation and the relationship between the POA and the sharing of the equipment and the operating agreement, they kind of go, no, we're not comfortable with that. So I just want you to know that EMC is aware of it. We'll sit down with Mindy and them and, you know, new employees and make sure everybody's on the same page with how that works and what EMC has agreed to. And yeah, we were pleased with the increase, even with that much more coverage, that it wasn't higher.
With that line item increase on the commercial property, when we decommission that water plant, which we're hoping to be able to do this year, how much of that will that go down?
Will you take the building completely off, or what's your plan?
We'll take the city's name completely off of everything. The building belongs to the POA.
Right.
We lease it. The equipment is permitted under the city's name.
Sure.
And it's full intention that it be decommissioned this year was the intention of the project. And with that in mind, is that gonna provide us a cost saving under this
Absolutely.
premium?
If
or
we
do
take
have
that
to
off,
wait
yeah,
till next
if you and the POA agree to remove that off the policy, then yes, they will prorate back the refund, absolutely.
Do you know about approximately how much
I-
of that commercial property is that?
I
Because
don't
I'm
know
assuming
how
it's more
much
than
it is
just
now.
that water plant, right?
Yeah, there is,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
I think we're out of the fire building over there, aren't we? The firehouse?
No.
Well, there's two things that say commercial property here.
Right, because we have a section that you guys turn around and bill back to the POA for theirs,
Okay.
and same way with the auto. That's why there's
Okay.
2 sections of auto, 2 sections of property, because then we give you a separate invoice that then you turn around and bill them and they reimburse you. But that's done kind of behind the scenes.
So it's the water plant building, and then there's some business personal property there, like the chemicals, that type of stuff, and then the generator that's down there.
It's a total of about $10,000 off of your total, that then you turn around and bill them for and they reimburse you.
Okay.
But
Good to know.
So what is the commercial inland marine?
that's your equipment, that's mobile equipment that moves around.
So it's not a boat?
Nope,
Okay.
I know, it's a
I
little
was thinking
confusing.
the same thing.
No, it's a little confusing, no,
I wonder where it was, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
no. I think there was a boat on there years ago, but,
Well,
I think there's a jet ski
Yeah,
now.
yeah, we still have a jet ski.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what do you need a motion to enter into a contract?
Yes, we need to, same thing, we need for the council to motion and second for, the total account of the premium estimate for, please state the policy period for this, please.
Okay.
Because it's not a January to January. Mhm,
Okay.
so, go ahead.
Motion, I move to allow the mayor and city clerk to enter into a contract with Truly Insurance for a policy period of 4/1/2025 through 4/1/2026 in the amount of $60,860.
I'll second it.
Any conversation, council? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We appreciate you
Thank you
doing
guys
business
very much,
local.
and, you know what, we appreciate having you guys local, thank you very much.
Okay,
Great, again, what great assets to do business with our neighbors.
yep, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Mr. Marino.
Okay, did you have anything?
Yeah,
left
Globe
in-
Life, Mr. Marino's gonna,
Sure. Again, I don't see that in my agenda. Oh, I thought you took it off, all right, never mind. Never mind. I was getting ready to run you out of here, but you're
No,
good, buddy,
well,
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. So I'm gonna, instead of flipping this around and showing everybody and hard to read, I'm just gonna use it just to kind of guide the conversation. So I'm with Globe Life Liberty National Division, and we actually work through local offices nationwide. I'm out of the Overland Park office. I actually am a resident of Miami County, just up the road, 375th and Somerset. So I'm a local here. I'm also a part-time officer for the city of Lagoon. So, doing business with our local communities, I try to do that in the communities that I work with and work around. So, with Globe Life, we actually, because we're local offices, nobody gets a 1-800 number or a home office number. Everybody gets my personal cell phone number to contact me directly with any questions or claims. But we actually have more policyholders than any other life insurance company in the nation. And we have top financial strength ratings with agencies such as AM Best, the Better Business Bureau. We've been partnered with them since 1952, and we were named Awards Top 50 Life and Health list. Now, our life insurance policy, I'm going to skip the fluff of our major league sports sponsors because it's not any teams that anybody likes down here. So, we have every employee, just for sitting down with me, is going to get 2 no-cost introductory offers: $3,000 of accidental death coverage for the employee, $3,000 for their spouse, and $1,000 per dependent child. It's our way of giving back to local communities. Because only 5% of the U.S. population actually has life insurance, we believe in giving something back so somebody has some kind of comfort in knowing if something were to happen to them, their family would get something from it. They also get a no-cost discount card, gives them access to a national network with thousands of local providers who partner with Globe Life. It gives them anywhere from 10 to 85% off vision, hearing, prescription medication, and chiropractic care. Now, our unique life benefit is something that is patented. We negotiated with the IRS to have it since we've been around since 1900. It covers every employee to the age of 100 with the option of being paid up at 65. The coverage continues even when the employee retires or leaves here for any reason, so they can take it with them. It's completely portable, and it's also completely price locked. So they'll never see an increase in premium or decrease in benefit amount, and then the first $50,000 is pre-tax deduction. That way the city and the employees can save some valuable tax dollars. We also have supplemental benefits like our cancer endurance plan, which I can go into detail on that if anybody has questions on those. The critical illness plan, and then we have an accident policy to protect employees both on and off the job. It covers the entire family, 24 hours a day. The biggest piece for the city is how it works is I come in and meet with each employee for just a few minutes. I would do a needs analysis and just determine where there's a need for each employee, and then only offer protection to the employees that have needs. At no point does it cost the city anything to partner with us except the time to sit down with the employees. We just ask that for the employees that do want to protect their families, that you'll allow them to pay for it through payroll deduction. That way the employees and employer can save some valuable tax dollars. I kind of buzzed right through that one a little faster than.
No, but the way you're explaining this is an individual, responsibility type of policy, you know?
Correct.
The city really has no skin in this game. We're not obligated to be defined under any title or policy, so.
Correct. The only thing you would be doing is authorizing the payroll deduction to allow the group plan. That's how we're able to give them that group life insurance policy. We are a guaranteed insurer as well, so if anybody has pre-existing conditions, we can still get them a policy.
Okay.
Do you know what it takes to do that for the payroll side of it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll figure it out. I can figure it out.
So did you say you have accidental life insurance too?
So we do have some accidental, like a rider with the life insurance policy, but we have an accident protector max. It covers you 24 hours a day on and off the job. It pays cash directly to the insured. As long as the employee seeks medical treatment within the first 48 hours of an accident, we'll pay you up to $500 for the initial out-of-pocket visit. If you're confined to the hospital for 24 hours, it's $1,000. Over 24 hours, you hit $48.72.96. We'll pay $150 to $500 per day, depending on how long you've had the policy. At year 3, it's $500. And then if you're in the ICU, it's 2 times that daily amount. It also comes with some accidental death benefits, $25,000 of accidental. If you fall off a ladder and die, car accident is $50,000. Train, plane.
Well, I couldn't
something like that.
convince my insurance agent that if I die, it's an accident because I don't plan on dying.
Well,
But
that's fair. It's a good way to go through life.
he's not gonna do anything for me though.
Well.
But I think that's something for
For
the.
the most
employees.
part, I believe that this probably kind of becomes an employee choice in the matter. The employees, Mindy can reach out to the employees and ask each employee who may be interested, and then upon their opinion or obligation, I don't know, probably shouldn't take but 30 minutes for you to sit down with an employee and
Yeah, it takes
give them
15
some
to
type of
30.
deal. And does your insurance offer, does employees are gonna be required to do health,
Exams.
health exams and
So-
and a physical statute that goes with your policy,
That's a great question.
so.
No, there are no medical exams. We give everybody a non-gender specific, non-smoker rate because it's through the group.
How
So
do you,
that's-
how do you compare what this man does in reference to accidental insurance and what this woman does as accidental insurance? How does that work under the premises of your program based on this guy for the same price should be getting 4 times the insurance that she should be getting? I
So,
mean,
That's a great question. And
where's the benefit and where does your company kick in to be more beneficial to our employees? Because I'm sure he would tell you that I'm overinsured right now. That's just what police officers do.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, believe me, I got a $500,000 policy myself because I am still a police officer. So I know it's inherently dangerous, and we understand that as an insurance company. We look at the statistics, the whole statistics of the United States and law enforcement interactions on a day-to-day basis. The amount of violent interactions for law enforcement per traffic stop. We do about 1 million traffic stops before 1 violent interaction occurs. Maybe it's even 2 million now. So we understand that there is that inherent danger, but it doesn't change his costs for whatever coverage. because it's a group plan, it's still gonna be the same. It's individually rated in the sense of his height, weight, and age. But it won't change. We don't discriminate based on higher frequency or higher likelihood of violence or danger towards him. It's
Okay.
still just a blank slate across the,
Sure.
so.
Council, any more questions for John? If you'd leave your card with me anyway, I'd like to have a card on hand.
Absolutely.
Council, again, this don't require a motion, but with no objection that he's allowed to reach out to the city employees through Mindy, we let him go.
Absolutely.
Okay, not a problem. We appreciate you coming
Thank you,
and
sir.
good luck in your search with Mindy, and
Thank you.
if we can help you, please let us know.
Will do. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, very much. Okay, Mindy, anything else?
I think I'm done.
You're done? Okay, okay. Again, the value of having people that keeps me on track. Thank you very much, employees. Just real quick, there's no good time to do this, but I'm gonna do this real quick and hope the council doesn't hate me over it. I'd like to take the time and opportunity to thank the POA employees, the people who hauls our water, the people who haul our sewer, the people who keep our community running every day. You just heard the insurance company talk about our shared liabilities. Okay, the city doesn't do this on our own. You know what? The POA does the bulk of this work. And if you don't, everybody starts stopping and thanking these people. You know, a thank costs us absolutely nothing. And I'm sure they're not making union wages. I mean, wish they could. And, you know, they may not have all the benefits of an invested 401k, but these people keep our communities running. On top of what our law enforcement does and the city people that you see working every day in front of you, these guys are hidden. You don't think anything about them till, oh, they're late. Okay, or I wonder if they got my ticket. Or again, let's stop long enough to be appreciative of the people who serve us. And I want to thank them because they serve me. Okay, so sorry, council, didn't mean to sound like an emotional person. Let's move to the current Lagoon update. Real quick, I think the council's mostly up to speed, but since March 10th council meeting, on the 10th, we moved forward with getting the ordinance ready for the moratorium, okay? And on March 11th, we get a call from B&G who wants to help us resolve this problem with statistics, some data, and numbers and things that could help us. Okay, I informed everybody of that. Since then, they've been working on a few things that may be able to help us. You know, again, it could be 60 to 90 days as they're trying to work through this. And that was kind of an obligation they requested because 30 days might not be reasonable with they handle a lot of things, you know, throughout the state. So not just our projects. So with that, we have B&G working with us. On the same day, I get a call from Dan Fisher, director of the USDA, that says, oh, by the way, B&G just sent some of the spreadsheets out to us to see if they could light a fire under us. We've lit a fire, guys. She said, we see the growth, we see what you're going through, and we're here. What do you need? Let's get the projects moving. And more information with that with Dan Pan in a minute, and the USDA and the water project. But let's get it moving, and what do you need from us to expedite these things? So we've got people at the highest level of the USDA and the KDHE that is willing to step in and help us. Okay, with that, we had a special meeting on the 13th, which we approved ordinance 268, okay, which was the moratorium to stop adding tanks or adding anything that would result in the addition of our sewer lagoons. Okay, so We mitigated, we litigated, and we tried to limit liability. Limiting liability is part of, let's do everything we can, but let's prevent failure first. Okay, and I thought we did that. So with that, on the March 17th, we've had a conversation with the KDHE, and they respect everyone's work in this matter. They respect the fact that these were hard decisions that had to be made and legislated. What this council did was they took place in legislation. They passed an ordinance. You know, so with that, you know what, we can try to control that specific area of growth. So as we move through all of this, I think that we're respected enough with the KDHE that their intent isn't to sit back and watch any of us fail. Okay, and their intent is to be able to help us in areas that they can help us. They respect Jason Solomon's report. They respected the spreadsheets, and at this particular point in time, Jason Solomon will be our expert on lagoons. Okay, again, I had this conversation, again, there's so many Jasons here, but Jason Schultz with the KDHE. So, to try to reassure everybody that, you know what, that we're not the devil's in disguise, you know what, our responsibility is a little different than the POAs, and through all of that, we have a city to try to manage. And like I explained before, our city is a recreational community. So we're given challenges with that. And I'll leave this conversation with us that just since March 1st, we've added 34 more tanks. Okay, and with 4 that were open from January and February, makes 38 tanks that are going to get added this summer. Okay, with that quantifies a number. Okay, so you can think small, or you can think normal, or you can think big. You know, you guys do that for yourself, but 38 more tanks is going to be added. With that, I have no other updates other than I do want everybody to know that to continue to find measures for answers, okay, I think that we need to continue to do that. How we get to that answer, you know what, we need to be respectful to the council. We need to be respectful to the people who are trying to help us, and you know what, guys, we work through this, you know. We work through every minute of this. So does the council have any questions regarding the current lagoon update? None. Does anybody have any input to the current lagoon update? Okay. Move to the next item, please. Projects, water project. Okay, Joey McKinley, you know, our financial advisor, will be in house next month on the first meeting. I believe it's the 14th. He will be here to inform us of our bonding renewal that's coming in December. And at the same time, what we need to do to bond for the additional funds that we got obligated. Oh, by the way, we got a call last week from Mike Pan that those funds were obligated. So those, for John would understand it, means that those funds physically are in place for us. Okay, so that's obligated to us now. So Joey will be here to explain to us how we're going to reach this milestone. Okay, with that, loan opportunity, and we should be ready. Talked to Jason today. We're working currently on, let's get our project meetings going. Let's get these things done. So we're currently working on a town hall meeting for both projects. We're hoping in June. Okay, so we're kind of still on track for, we thought June was gonna be it. We also are gonna become financially obligated to lay seam in June for, about 67,000 gallons of water, so.
May.
Oh, May, before June, it'll be May. So we obligated here in the next 2 months, for that. And it doesn't mean we're being fined or penalized, it just means we're buying water early. So, it's part of everyone's obligation. Everybody has grants, everybody has loans, everybody's trying to budget and trying to, pay for their loans. And through all of that, they have to prepare. They have Lacine has quite a bit to do, just that they're starting to deliver in our volume. So that's gonna come this year, like we were hoping. Okay, Mindy has a lot of stuff being thrown at her right now because of projects, but she keeps knocking them out and showing success in all these reports that she has to do. So keep up the good work, young lady, and she does great for us. Thank you. Any questions regarding the water project? None?
We're on track?
It would appear that we not only are on track, but the locomotive is moving. So we, again, thank everybody, and from the USDA to B&G to you guys so we show success in getting our work done in here. Because again, just like every city, we only can move at the speed of the council's approval. So if you guys mitigate, and try to limit our liability in every conversation, again, we manage to accomplish these things. All right, let's move to, did you have anything else? Go ahead.
I don't know how many people got a text message this morning from the city for text by gov. It went online, obviously live today. Actually, somebody found it over the weekend and was trying to find out how to get a gate card, which was not on our website, but now it is on our website. Who to call? But so far, everybody got that text message. You press stop if you want to opt out. So far, I've got like 300 people that have not opted out, and I haven't even put the promo stuff out yet, because that was just the initial list that they pulled, and I don't know where they got phone numbers, but there were a lot of 757 numbers on, so I don't know. But if you didn't get a text message, you can go to the website, sign up there. If you have any problems, you bring it up here, and I will help you. And that's like that. So another way to get information out.
Okay. Lagoon expansion project. B&G Friday started receiving feedback from Ryan Eldridge with the KDHE. He's the engineer that's approving or is validating our approved plans. So right now, the final, everything's back. We're looking over the reviews, things that need corrected, and again, I asked them today how soon they were going to get it back to the KDHE. So it's we're trying to expedite things. We're waking people up. We're making sure they know that we're here every day. So with that, I also remind the council that it'll be in 2026 that those bonds will become due for the sewer project. Okay, due for renewal. Okay, so naturally, if we had the $7.5 million, you could just pay it off, but chances are we don't, so we'll probably renew the bonds. Okay? Mindy, you got anything to add to the Lagoon expansion project?
Sorry.
All right, council, any questions regarding the Lagoon expansion?
So, okay, so last time B&G said it was at KDHE, they're expediting and trying to get it back. I thought that was like they were hoping that was the last round.
Well, actually, that was the first round. Okay, when it got sent to the KDHE the last time, it was for the initial approval.
Yeah.
Then it came back with corrections, so they had made those corrections, sent it to the KDHE. Now we should be in the final approval stage. And some of this, guys, is as simple as, some of you may understand that. You see that big manual right there? Well, that covers our water project, 2 pages, front and back at a time. Okay, so when you go to look through the blueprints, it gives you a reference. And the KDHE actually stops, hires an engineer that goes through this, that sets this page with that page. And if you're off one page, somebody like John who bids projects are gonna go, hey, I noticed this.
Yeah.
And the KDHE wants to catch this before it ever goes to bid.
Some of it was just the key,
Yeah.
the keys were wrong on the certain
Yeah.
pages. So, super easy fixes. I didn't see anything dramatic in there.
No, I did not. There was nothing actually to throw the flag.
It just sounded like it had to go back one more time, and that's
It
what-
does, it does. It has to go back for, it's been approved, but for final aspect, for,
Yep,
so.
it was approved with corrections.
Right.
Now they gotta go back through it again for final approval.
B&G feels that we'll easily, by June, will be able to put this with the water project, and we should be at least at they believe that we'll be at least at the bid letting stage by then. If not, actually, we could actually get lucky and have the bids, we have the bid letting ready by then. So, you know what, again, I will talk to them a couple times every week to remind them that we have work to do, and don't fall asleep, they're waiting on you, kind of thing. And that's where the KDH is, the KDHE is with everything we're doing right now, is they're waiting on someone else. No one's waiting on USDA and any of our projects, or the KDHE and any of our projects. So, guys, that's called getting closer. Okay. Final time, any questions? Good question, Robert, thank you. Okay, any audience participation tonight? Yes, ma'am, please step up, state your name, and is it in regards to something on the agenda?
I'm not sure. Darla Supenbach, resident.
Uh-huh.
March 17th, there was a meeting with the Linn County Federation of Republican Women.
Uh-huh.
State Representative Rick James was there, and I was not aware, so I thought
State representative did what?
Rick James was there.
Okay.
And he was speaking on the behalf of the Southeast Mental Health Facility.
Yeah.
And we are competing with Lacine for this.
For who?
Lacine, we were competing with Lacine for this.
Competing was not what.
Okay, as far as they have a decision to make between
Lacine and
Lacine and
Pleasanton
Falcon.
were both in the picture.
Okay. I truly hope the council realizes that most of us want businesses here. I mean, I don't see why not. I don't see.
I'm gonna stop you, Darla. I would like for you to please come back to us in the first meeting in next month. We will have this on the agenda because our mental health department, this is all I wanna say, is waiting for a decision from us. Okay, so are we interested, are we not? I think would be a perfect opportunity for you to come to us as a community member and voice your opinion on community growth and in this specific instance, how a mental health center fits into our community growth. But
Okay, on another thing, social media, if you're not able to handle it, like some of us, it's better to stay off of it.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't see anything good or beneficial from the appointed, elected people in this town to have to argue, to have to fight for what they actually, their reasonings behind things. I believe that in an attempt to do good for our community, I believe that the social media has gotten to the point where most people have just given up. They don't even want to look, they don't even want to know what's going on. I don't believe it's just, I truly believe that it's not just the residents of Linn Valley, but it's also the city council that needs to feel the same thing as Mr. Mayor. You were the one who said that people shouldn't be on Facebook if there is emotions involved.
Well, it could create the opportunity to create a quorum is exactly what social media provides for this council. However, as the mayor, as the city manager, and I can tell you if Jamie were here, he'd tell you the same thing, we cannot control what elected officials choose to do or not do. Only thing that we can do is recommend. But as you would talk about legislature, I can assure you that good legislature work is done in this room. You know what? It's not done on social media. It's our argument. My argument is never outside of this room. This is the only place I have authority is in this room. So the minute I step out of that box, I'm fair game. So, you know what, I also appreciate your input on that, you know, but again, we start every meeting with a pledge of allegiance. Please think about what you say, okay, in that pledge of allegiance. Every meeting we start with a prayer. Stop and ask yourself what this man said in a short sentence in understanding, forgiveness, sympathy, empathy, what goes with being good Christians. And ma'am,
I would like to remind you that you have demonstrated otherwise very recently while we were doing a celebration of life.
Pardon?
While we were busy doing a celebration of life,
Yeah.
there were several phone calls that were not decent. They were not.
I didn't make them phone calls.
Yes, you were the one on the phone.
I made the phone calls.
You were on the phone
To who?
to my husband.
About what? Well,
I-
you know what? I didn't know there was a
Don't.
celebration of life.
You know, I just want
No
you
one,
to know
you didn't
that
invite me.
I go to church too. So it does mean something. It does make a difference. At the end of the day, when we move to a community, we look at the schools, we look at the crime, we look at the involvement, we look at the houses, we look at everything.
And again, I'm talking about something that's not even on my agenda, and this is your personal attack on me. Is this your
You brought
intent?
up that you
I'm
did not
asking.
have any hostile phone calls, sir.
I what?
You said you were not on the phone, that you have not been.
I'm not on the phone.
Okay.
About what? You need, if you're gonna accuse me of something, Darla, please just be clear about it and make it. I didn't know about John Enright's celebration of life.
This was his mother's. John Enright's was another that we actually have been involved in recently.
And if it was his family, I asked that very same courteous request was to inform us, because maybe attendance, or maybe we would send something nice, Darla. I
No,
apologize.
decency is all I'm asking for on social media and off of social media. It doesn't matter what people say about you. You could choose to ignore it. That's the basic point. I have to ignore it, other people ignore it. You don't have to. You get right in there and start, or if it's not you, it could be somebody in your household. We are going by what you had asked, not to engage as much.
I don't engage in personal media. You better find something and show me where
Margot.
I've done it. You know, Margot is a grown woman that
And
has
so
her
am
own
I,
opinion.
and so am I,
Yes,
so.
ma'am. But
I
I can
just want
tell
you
you,
to
when my
know
wife
that
accuses me of something, she's forthright
An
and she's exact
accusation?
about what I've done.
An accusation, no. I said you were on the phone making very, very rude and undecent, and you go to church, so that is what I'm saying.
And you want me to have that conversation in the public right now with what that conversation was about?
I would
and
have
had
spoke
no
to you about
idea.
this Federation of Republican Women meeting if you had taken the phone calls. You quit communicating.
Now, do what?
With my husband. You quit communicating with my husband.
I did not. Legal counsel asked him to call me 5 times.
Okay.
Legal counsel asked him, and when James comes, you know what, in the next meeting, we can sure address this. But I can assure you, I
I'm just
understood
trying to
what the
keep some
conversation was
dignity.
about.
People around here are tired of it. It is nonstop. Decency. Have decency. We need decency.
Okay.
And other than that, I would honestly like to say thank you myself as a resident of Linn Valley for all of your guys' time that you take out. We appreciate the safety in Linn Valley from the police officers. We appreciate the volunteer firefighters who donate their time, not only just to do fires and everything else, but to help with the community and the different events. I would love to see this community find the fun again. I feel like between everything that's going on, all it is everybody's mad about something and mad about one person or another. So, and no, I'm not accusing you.
I apologize if I've disturbed you, or the last phone call I had with him was a butt call. And he picked it up, and I hung it up before I thought it ever rang,
And out of
he answered
decency,
it.
I won't tell the council what I actually heard.
Well, you're welcome to tell the council, and I'd be more glad to tell the council the same conversation that I had. But in the future, if it's not on the agenda, please place yourself on the agenda so that your voice can be heard.
I thought
What
this
we-
was open to everybody.
We're in a meeting, we follow an agenda, and there's no open session tonight on the second meeting. Then there's not new business or old business, and you had 3 minutes. And I asked you if you had anything to discuss that was on the agenda.
And I said,
And you said, well, I really don't know. And you went to 2 different things that had nothing to do with the agenda. And I apologize that you're upset and you felt you had to take personal attack on me, Darla.
it isn't a
Okay,
personal attack,
so I
Mr.
will
Mayor.
I'll leave it
Point of
with that.
order. We need to move on.
Thank you. Anybody else want to speak? I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Favor?
Aye.
Thank you.